Waohlife, my Jesus Christ story. How are you doing today? This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. I'm so happy to let you know it's another wonderful edition of Parenting again on Wildlife by Jesus Christ story, and I'm so happy to let you know that I'm being joined by fantastic. I'll be live with fantastic couple. I am Chukwueke Carl and Flores Carl, both of Team Carl. This family will be teaching thousands of people on what it entails to understand the rudiment and the understanding behind technology and parenting. It's going to be awesome in few minutes as we go live with this wonderful family. I'm glad to let you know as well that we are live on Facebook, we are live on Instagram, we are live on Instagram, we are live on Twitter as well. So just stay tuned as we get connect, as we log, as I welcome Tim Cow to this wonderful edition of Parenting on My Jesus Christ Story. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, getting close. We're connecting to Tim Cow now. Few minutes connecting. Wow, what's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, now one after the other. Wow. Glad to let you know that in few minutes we'll be going live with Team Carl. And also, thanks to going live with Team Carl. Wow. Okay, can see you on Instagram. You're going to be getting the okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Wow. Gotcha. We'd like to let you know that we are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as we'll be discussing this wonderful evening technology and parenting, the impact of this in today's world, how parents can control it, how we can actually use it to our advantage, and how we can actually model this in changing our world, how we can leverage on it in towards nurturing, and how we can actually teach young people in achieving their greatest dream using technology. So in few minutes we go live again with Tim Carl. I understand we're having some technical challenge and we'll be going live in few minutes. Sorry, earphone. Going live in few minutes and can you hear me? If you can hear me, just say hi. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Wow. What? Seems the network this wonderful evening is awesome from different parts. The network has been awesome. The network has been awesome. Network has been awesome. So again, this wonderful evening we'll be speaking with Tim Carl on technology and parenting. Wow. Hello. Awesome. Praise the Lord. Finally, you hear. Can you hear me? Thank you so much. It's been awesome, 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 awesome. Wow, wow, wow. We're getting there. Thank you. Were you able to get the StreamYard link? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I understand quite a lot of people really, really want to join us this wonderful evening from different part of the world. In fact, some people requested for the link directly. So before they go to their work, they requested for the link. So that's why I think we should commence this event. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Tim Carl. Tim Carl comprises of Chukwueke and Florence Carl, both of Tim Carl. They will be preaching on technology and parenting this wonderful evening. It's 9 o'clock from Lagos, Nigeria, this wonderful evening. So, wow, awesome. How's the audio by your side?
Fantastic.
Perfect. It's clear.
Is it clear, perfect, the visuals? How come with the visuals?
We're good.
Good. At least there's beautiful improvement, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank everybody joining us this wonderful evening from Lagos, Nigeria. We have Team Car Live on Instagram, and what we're discussing this wonderful evening is technology and parenting. How, why, when, why, and how can we use it to inspire our world? How can we use technology to inspire our children? What are the do's? What are the don'ts? Advantages, disadvantages. And we have the pro in the house this wonderful evening. So, good evening, Tim Carl. Can we just hear from you before we go straight to today's edition of parenting? Thank you.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, Bratayo. Thank you for having us here. My name is Florence Kalobu, and I have my partner in what? Partner in everything. Partner in life. Chukwueke Kalobu. And we're super excited to be here. I mean, when we got the topic that we'll be treating today, and I think the next one is 24th and all of that. And I want to appeal to everyone that is watching this particular one and not to miss the next one, because the truth is, whether you like it or not, it is a great deal. And when we got the topic, it was one of the things we thought about. That wow, this is a most discussed topic. It's such an important one. In any way we want to bring about it, and we're glad to be here. We're glad we're doing this, and I think for a change, we won't mind if we have enough time. Questions can pop up from our viewers. I mean, oh, thanks, parenting with clarity. Yeah, that's our team member. That's our tribe. All right, so questions can come up and all of that, because parenting is a big deal, and parenting and technology and parenting is one of the biggest deals we have to deal with. Cal?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to be here on this fantastic platform with Brother Tayo. Brother Tayo, thank you so much for having us
Welcome.
once again. So today, I think we'll be talking about parenting and technology. And one of the things that came across as we prepared for this is the definition we have always talked about.
Yeah.
Which is that when we talk about parenting, is making the child fit for purpose.
That's it.
For the world that the child will live in, fit for purpose. Parenting and technology are two, would I say, two two platforms that need to leverage each other.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple of parents would say, I don't want my children exposed to a lot of technology early enough in their lives because of the negatives that come with technology. But then again, you ask yourself, would they be fit for purpose for the world they would live in if they do not have some level of engagement with technology? So it's something we cannot disengage from. It's something we cannot run away from because all of our children will be um, fit for purpose. So I think this is just an amazing opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Beautiful one from the prof himself. So going straight to the point, what's the let's just lay the foundation like this: technology and parenting. Let's put it like into with millennials, Gen Z, and the older generations. What's the connection? Let's start from there. Over to you.
Sorry, I didn't get the question correctly, sir.
The millennials, the Generation Z, the older generation. So I said, what's the connection between those groups and the older generations in terms of technology? Maybe I should put it this way so that you can understand very well. You know, somebody has been working for 35 years, and somehow somebody said, okay, you can actually do something with tech, and the cumulative of those 35 years is being made in one single day, which became a threat to the older generation. So they labeled everybody running with that tech as something we call Yahoo Yahoo in this part. So I want to ask you, advantages of tech to parenting, disadvantages of tech in parenting. Let's start from that point.
Okay, thank you. So I think you've captured it absolutely well. Um, what we have for most of us and our parents, um, we we have come to adopt technology, which means that we have come to embrace technology. For
Yeah.
most of us, for some others, we've not been able to do that as much. But um, we need to embrace technology. I think we are um, we are
Off.
off Instagram.
You said,
I think we're off Instagram.
wow, and it's showing here. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there's a little bit of tech issues there. We're connecting. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going live. We're going back, connecting. We had some little technical issues, and we'll return into the live event with Team Car. There's tech. There's the way tech does this thing. Oh, we're live. Thank you so much. Great people all over the world. We are live on technology and parenting with Team Carl. My name is Adebusuyolo Tailo Madela from Waohlife, My Jesus Christ Story. This wonderful evening, we have Tim Carl online with us from Lagos, Nigeria, and then they'll be discussing technology and parenting. And we've been talking a few minutes before 10 12 does did so great things. So we're live again with Tim Carr, and again we'll continue the advantages and disadvantages of technology now. Okay, Tim Carr, can you hear me? Is the audio back and is the visual okay? Okay, thank you so much. I guess we are back now. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead.
over to you. Advantages and disadvantages of tech
So okay,
and
so
parenting.
um, so yeah, we're trying to build some level of trying to go from the known to the unknown, and basically what I was trying to share initially was the fact that for most of us and for most of our parents, we have just been trying to adopt technology, which is trying to catch up with technology. For most of us, we've been able to do it fantastically well. For others, not as well as should be. But for the millennials and the Gen Zs, they are what we call technology natives, which means that they are born into it. They cannot escape it, right? And funny enough, I was just discussing with my wife, and I told her, I said, some parents will say, don't use phones until you are X number, or no, we don't watch TV, or we don't use computers and all of that. Just trying to protect the children from exposure to technological advancements, right? And then what we've done in a way is that, to a large extent, we have disenfranchised that child because that child has not been prepared for the future that he has to function with in technology. So that child that you say, okay, don't use technology, and probably when that child starts to work, he needs to use a laptop, he needs to use co-working devices and tools. The child becomes dysfunctional within that ecosystem because he's not been made, like I said, fit for purpose, to function within a technological era. So yes, we understand that technology and parenting go hand in hand, and why this is important is because technology basically by itself is in for solving problems, simplifying
Yeah.
and providing solutions.
Yeah.
Parenting in itself is for modeling, instruction, and making the person fit for purpose in the world you will live in, which means that you're trying to grow or groom somebody that will be functional within the environment. And if you need to be functional within your environment, you need to leverage problem solving tools and mechanisms. Now, the question now is, how do we strike a balance between these two things? And the first thing I would say is that you cannot strike a balance with something you really don't even understand in the first place. You basically cannot strike a balance, right? And if we want to say what's the role of technology in parenting, the question is, you cannot understand the role of a thing in isolation of that thing. And what do I mean? You cannot understand the role of technology in isolation. So if you must understand the role of technology, it means that you need to embrace technology yourself. You cannot say you are a parent, you do not know how TikTok works, or you don't know how probably a cell phone works, but you want to understand the role. How does technology help me in parenting? And yet I do not know anything about that technology. So we need, as parents, we need to upgrade ourselves. For most people, they say, no, what am I even doing on Facebook? What am I doing with this technology? What am I doing with that? If you do not understand it, then you cannot even equip your child to function in it. And one of the things that we do a lot as parents that for me is a red flag. We are quick to complain and we are quick to correct in situations where we've not given adequate information or advice. So I'm going to correct my child and say, oh, you are not supposed to watch television for X number of hours. And you've not taught that child how to use a television set. You've not taught that child how to respect a television set. You've not taught that child what screen time and off screen time means. So there is no prior education before the adoption of that technology. And if I do not educate you before you adopt that technology, then obviously abuse is inevitable. But if there is some level of education before adoption, then you find that balance. And the truth is, for many parents, their children got on Facebook without their knowledge. So it means that you did not even. I think it is surprised that the right thing to do is if your child is going to be on Facebook, you should be the one to help your child open his Facebook account so that every step of the way the child knows what is happening. But because you are alienated from that engagement with your child, the child is going to do that behind your back. And the truth is, because there is not a prior education based on the family culture and what is expected from that child, there's a tendency for abuse. And that's where we now say, oh, the child is doing this, the child is doing that. But there needs to be proper engagement with children before they adopt technology. Before you give a child a handset, what is the onboarding process? What's the discussions like? How do you engage? How do you make sure that these, because the truth is they are in a digital world, the child would definitely need a handset. There are no two ways about that. But the question is, how do you engage with the child to make sure that that child doesn't abuse the privileges of technology? And what we've understood is we mystify anything we do not understand. For other people, they do not mystify what they do, they embrace what they try to understand. And so if you see a child who is doing so well with technology and the child is 2 years old, is it not better to get the child a coding instructor and help that child embrace technology so that before the child is 18, the child becomes a technology guru than distracting that child, and then the child will also need to leverage technology obviously when he's 20. So why that cut or that gap, right? So for me, I think that it's very important that we understand the adoption process, the onboarding process for children with technology. That's the critical part where we either miss or make that relation, because the truth is, as we go forward, we cannot we cannot we cannot wish away technology. It will even get more daring, right? Yeah, we cannot wish away technology, but we need to engage, and we need to engage purposefully. That's my take on it.
Awesome. Wonderful. You said as we move forward, we've got to engage tech, that we can't wish it away. Ma'am, what's your own view from what Prof has just said? You cannot wish away tech.
Yeah. Truth. Truly said, technology cannot be wished away. It has come to stay. Unfortunately, most of the parents we have now. So if you look at most of the parents that are parenting young adults, most likely their generation is quite different. And perhaps their own time of growing up, they were not exposed to a lot. I mean, you still hear some of them say now that when I was growing up, I didn't even have, I didn't know there was only one man in our locality that had a phone, and we will just give a number out, and when we're gonna stand with the phone, you get it, when we're expecting the call, and when it rings, they will not say, okay, it is Florence I want to talk to, and all of that. Facebook wasn't there. I think they do more of emails, and I mean, there were just a lot of things. Not too long ago, also, they were just a lot of things that were not in existence. Maybe not the fact that it was not in existence, but it wasn't popular. And especially the location you find yourself, the environment with which you find yourself. So it is of a truth that parents like that are finding it very difficult. In fact, I must say to you that a lot of them have spiritualized this thing we call technology. A lot of them have fasted and prayed their children, prayed Facebook, prayed TikTok, prayed a lot of all these technology devices. They've prayed it off their children. I'm telling you the truth. That's how far most parents have gone because they do not understand. And one of the things Carl said is that you do not like technology, that you are not conversant with technology, will not exempt your child from the consequences of not being
Technology ready.
tech ready.
Technology savvy.
Yes, it will not exempt your child. So your dislike for technology. So a quick example, when Carl was talking, one of the things that came to mind was, if you look at those days that our parents had to put to bed, um CS, what was CS general session wasn't really popular. I'm sure it was not there. You know, parents would feel like it is time for the baby to come out. There are certain midwives that will come around and deliver the baby, and they are fine. And if we have such parents that probably are now grandparents or great grandparents, and they are wondering, they say, "Oh, small girl, you just say it's time to put to bed," and they say you cannot push, you will just go to the theater, they will tear your body. That's how they say it, and all of that. So, but what I need us to really get this, because it can be likened to technology too. What most of them fail to understand is that every time comes with an activity. It comes with a spirit. It comes with an aura. It comes with a feel. Every generation, every time, everything that is happening. Those days, our parents were not exposed to a lot. There are some level of normalcy that comes with a generation. And in that time, nobody would even see us, because the environment, the energy, and everything surrounding that time was different, including the food was different, the air was different. Most of them were close to nature. It was different. And now you can't import that time because a lot of things have changed. This day, if you have been, if all indication has pointed towards yes and you don't do it, most likely the baby and the mother will go. That is to say that there are different realities. And the same thing with technology. When you were growing up as a parent, there were certain realities that were not common. There were certain realities you grew up with, which is not the same as the one these kids are growing up with. If you ever did jam, then I trust you. Not even those desperate. Even one of the jams I did, I had to go to the jam office to buy the form. It was in an envelope, and I had to fill a lot of things. We had what we call brochure, right? We used to call it brochure. Brochure. And then you had to fill a lot. Yes, I wrote jam during that time too. But this age and time, you don't even need any paper to sit for your jam examination. You just need a pen. You just need to you need a computer to go in. Are we seeing the difference? So one of the things we're going to talk about is how to manage a reality. Technology is a reality that prayers cannot take away. That you're fasting from today to tomorrow, calling in the devil's tool. Unfortunately, if it is devil's tool, you have to bring God in it and search for where God is in that tool. Because it only means that your child will not go to school. I mean, take COVID for instance. Kids were literally schooling online. Imagine technology has not been embraced. You'll be shocked, Bratayo, that even in all of this, we still have parents that said their children were not going to do online schooling because they can't afford So I'd like to say that the fear of certain parents has even been stronger than the effect of technology on its own. So not that, which is part of what we're going to talk about. There are certain disadvantages because everything has its own pros and cons. There are certain disadvantages, but can be curtailed, can be worked on. But trust me, parenting and technology works hand in hand. There was something called it. There was something you called it. Parenting and technology. What
Synergy.
is synergy? So parents will have to partner with technology. That is it.
Hmm.
And when you allow partnership to chance, or when you allow a situation to chance, the effects will be dangerous. But when you
Hmm.
go into intentional partnership, the
Hmm.
effects will be minimal. I like to say that again. When you allow certain situations to chance, the effects will be dangerous. But when you go into obvious partnership, because in terms of that partnership, one of the things Carl talked about, orientation will take place. Your child will not come on Facebook without your knowledge because at the first place you'll be the one to open the Facebook page. Because some people now have to do classes online using Facebook Live, closed group on
Mhm.
Facebook. So most likely your child will need a Facebook account to do that. Your child will have to be on Instagram sometimes. I know of a program where it is on Instagram that they do it. You get it? So your child will need an IG account. If you are in partnership, you will be in that space. Most likely, you will open the IG account with your child. And that's why I would say that you can't wish technology away. You can only go into an intentional partnership with technology so that the damages or the disadvantages can be managed.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Are we going to call you Professoress or no? Prof. Carl, you do this for a living. So you don't just come by it. So when we call you prof in the area of parenting, we know not just that you're even gifted about it, God blesses you with divine courses that people can actually embrace. So my next question to you is this. In terms of nurturing, how can parents leverage on tech more to birth great parenting intentionally? Because I've once attended a program and one of the Africa's most sought out coach, Larry Olifla, was talking about parents can actually be somewhere and children are communicating with their fellow ones in code and they are lost. They are lost. So if they are, how would they be able to cope? So, but the first question I'm asking is this intentional parenting. How can parents leverage on tech intentionally? Thank you. Over to you, Prof.
Okay, so thank you, Bro Tayo. Thank you for that question. I think it's like it's always, I mean, been said. Um, nothing, nothing. Well, I say most of the things created. Okay, let me not be absolute. Most of the things created, most of the things or systems created, are neither good or bad in themselves. They only become good or bad in the hands of the people who use them. So if you say a gun, for example, a gun is neither good or bad. It only becomes good or bad depending on the person who is holding the gun. Now, so if I have a bad
True.
motive, the gun becomes a bad tool. If I have a good motive, the gun becomes a good tool. And this is the same thing with technology. It is neither good or bad. It only depends on the person who has chosen to apply it. And so you can see the same technology technology, you have hackers, you have bullies, you have people who are solving problems. It is not a function, it is not that technology is bad. It is the mind of the person who is using that technology part time. And that is why, one of the things we talked about was the adoption and the onboarding process. Now, if a child is already a person with a foundation, a very strong foundation, it means that even when they adopt technology, and don't get me wrong, there are very many distractions, right? There are very many distractions. But the foundation is the most important one. The foundation of who you are as a person. A foundation of who you are as a person. Because if you do not understand that if a child does not have the foundation of who they are as a person, then, like my wife said, they are being open to chance. And once you are open to chance, there are a lot of mistakes go wrong. So the question now is, how can a parent leverage technology? Now, the truth is, we cannot. I mean, if we take the speed at which technology grew in the last 10 years, it is only an indication of what technology will be in the
The
next
next
10
10
years.
years.
The speed at which things will change. Now we are grappling with the reality of a virtual world. A virtual world, which means that you don't necessarily have to be in the same place with Brother Tayo to have this fantastic meeting. Now, just imagine the adoption of 5G technology, which is faster and quicker, which there are rumors that even people can have operations using 5G technology, medical operations using 5G technology. So you can only see the possibilities that will be enormous using that technology by itself, or using blockchain, or I mean everything is going everything. So it will be a great disservice if you as a parent is not preparing your child for the future. Now, Ratayo, when you were growing up, was there any was there any profession called a radio vixen, or a professional dancer, or a drone pilot, or a cryptocurrency trader,
No, it was
were,
social media
or even a social media
managers,
expert?
experts.
When we were growing up, did those jobs did they exist?
You had to be a doctor, an
The
engineer, or a
opportunities
lawyer.
of today.
Thank you. So those job functions did not exist. So what we're saying is that we are building children for job functions that have not been created. Because it means that between now and the next 10 years, there will be a lot of professions that will evolve that have not even been created. Now, in the last 5 years, did we know that there will be a profession, somebody will call themselves a social media influencer? It didn't exist, but it is existing today. And they even pay us, I mean, they even earn so much money.
So much,
And,
yeah.
so it means that children or our parents should understand that in the next couple of years, in the next 5, 10 years, these children we are parenting them for jobs that have not been created. And their engagement in that world in which they need to be fit for purpose will be dependent on how functional they are within that ecosystem. And what technology has done for us basically is to bring the world closer, which means that the the dichotomy of entry and exit has been crashed down. So I don't need a visa to get a job to work in the UK. I can work virtually as a Nigerian. I don't need to get a visa to work in Canada or in India or any. There is a lot of free entry, and I don't need a visa to do an online masters in Harvard or in Cambridge. This is what technology has democratized access, basically democratized access. And we need to, as African parents, we need to adopt and engage as soon as possible. Now, the truth is, are there threats? Are there negatives? Are there negative narrations to the impact of technology towards our children? Oh, definitely. As to every good thing, there are negative sides. And that's why it's important, like I said, that the onboarding process, the engagement, the adoption process needs to be properly engaged with your children. When they are of age to engage with technology, you need to properly engage them because there are so many advantages that, and this is what I'm going to say. In in Europe, America, or outside of Africa, when you have a child who is good in music and continually fails mathematics, English, and any other good subjects that we call good subjects, in Europe and elsewhere,
Developed countries.
developed countries, what you do is you get that child a music teacher so that that child can develop his level of music so that before the child is 12 or before the child is 18, he becomes a genius in music. If the child is a tennis player and doesn't know maths and English, you focus on the child's strength, not on the child's weakness. So that before the child is 18, the child is a professional tennis player. But in Africa, we get it wrong. If the child is not good in maths, but the child is good in English, what we do is that we get the child a maths teacher. We try to force children on their weaknesses. We try to focus on the weaknesses of children rather than leveraging on the strengths of children. So at the end of the day, the child that was a fantastic English student, you don't get him an English teacher. Instead, you get him a maths teacher. And the child is neither a genius in maths or English. He's just an average child. So as parents in this generation, if your child is good in technology, it is important to engage that child so that before the near future, we have inventors and creators. We are not catching or lagging behind trying to build children that are only users. Because basically, what we're creating children that are only users of technology, not creators of technology. You know, so for me, I think there are a lot of benefits, and I don't want to leverage on the negatives, whether it's cyberbullying, whether it's exposure to pornographic content or indoctrination into drugs, alcohol, and all of that. It is it is still the failure because now what we're trying to do is to carry ahead and yeah, but it is still what all of those things have become because it's a carryover of the media. The media is now majorly technology, and it's the media that sells these ideas, these behavioral patterns, these stereotypes. The truth is, if we still did not have technology, the media will sell these same things to your children using TV and other things, right?
Yeah.
Newspapers, magazines, and all of that. It's just that technology has given the media a broader platform to engage and to do that. So it doesn't negate the fact that as parents, we still need to do the foundational work of modeling and creating a value system for these children. Now, are children going to make mistakes? Definitely. Every child makes mistakes because mistakes are a part of learning. So let us explain that, oh, our children would never make mistakes. They will make mistakes. But if the right seed has been sowed in that child, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he will go.
Values. And when he's old,
When he is old,
he will
not
depart
depart
from
from
it.
it. He will not depart from it. Thank you.
Awesome. Wow. Wow. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Prof. We said
Thank you, sir.
at the beginning, we said we're doing this for living, and we're saying this is not an audio. That apart from you are gifted in this field of parenting, you are also blessed, heavily blessed. There's a difference between somebody gives you a gift, which is heaven, but the unraveling of the mystery behind the parenting. God package it in manifold and said, Prof. Carl, take this, go and explore and let the people of my world let them fly. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. It's just
Thank you.
amazing that when you are in a wonderful topic, time flies like this. It's just amazing. Time flies. So we're going to explore, we're going to be disciplined with time this today because last week we exceeded, but today we'll be disciplined with time. So I think with the time left now, we can only entertain one more question, and that goes to ma'am. So way forward, ma'am. Way forward to every parent.
I'm going to try and take a bit of what Carl said. Just to mention, when it comes to technology, Carl is even the one that takes that. And even when we are having the training, and I sincerely commend, what you just said. And I will say that way forward, number one, you need to understand that technology has come to stay. It has actually been here since maybe we just got to know. And you need to know that you cannot throw it away. You can only walk around it. You can only partner with it. Partner, if you're a Christian mother, partner in the Christian way. And the Christian way does not suspend your dreams. See, Christian way does not make you live in denial. So you need to be, you can't lie to yourself. You need to understand a lot of things. Carl has given a fantastic analysis, of all of these things. So you need to understand that it is important for you to partner with technology, and then you need to get involved. Way forward, get involved. There's a way you carry yourself. Your children even see you as, Carl will say no, not inspired parent. That's one of the, that's for lack of a better word, because some parents are living in the school that is older than old. You get it? And with such parents, you have lost your technology savvy kids. So you see most parents that they don't even know anything. Please read up. You need to read up. Yes, technology has come to say thank you, ma'am. You need to read up. You need to get involved. You need to have these accounts. As a parent, you have a phone, but the best you can do is to chat on WhatsApp. What's up? Like, what's up? That's the best some of us can do. We manage to come on Instagram, and what we do is the latest selfie and all of that. You need to get to the nitty gritty of technology. Now, when you get into that, you are able to work with your children, even to work on the disadvantages to help them. Just imagine that you have gone ahead. So you're the parents. You have to be older to be a parent. You have to have been married. You have to maybe carry a child for 9 months. And all of. You are not a child's mate. So you need to also be older in terms of your thinking, and you need to go farther than your child. So go ahead, see things. When you guys are talking, you have gone ahead, you have done your research. Children are tricked. They get connected to parents, so they will rather come and talk to you than go Google about something or make their own research, and you are not sure of what Google will give to them. But when they see that my mom understands, my dad knows what's up, they come to talk to you, and you are talking to them already about technology. And so it makes it very easy. And don't forget, technology is just a tool. It's just a tool. There is impact. Impact takes place in technology. So it is just the tool you are using. If you are able to master that act, it means you can connect with your children. If you are able, because that's the language they understand. So for a child that understands that my parents are technology savvy, they know that they can even talk about a lot of other things. They can tell you about when they are falling in love with someone. They can tell you about when they are liking a girl. They can tell you about their struggles. You'll be amazed. You see the connection. You see the connection. Because if they can trust you with the fact that you understand technology, they can also trust that you understand their feelings. You see where that has gone now. Because it's like you have hit their parts. You have hit something that concerns them. If they can say, oh, mom or dad we can strike a conversation. We can talk about this. They will trust you with their emotions. They will trust you with their emotions. They will trust you with the things they do with their friends. They will trust you with deep secrets, conversations that are taking place. Because guess what? They will say you are understanding and hands-on parents. They will say you are the newest of newest school, not old school. And children are tired of parents that are old school. They don't want to talk to them. And that's why you see some of them say, oh, this one is my this one is my that. Because they want new school, because they are new children. They are in this new generation. So if we understand that fact, it will give a fantastic way forward. And like Carl said, as a parent, instead of throwing away these things, like I said before, understand your child's gifting. I mean, Oluwatobi Adesola is here. Toby does a lot online. We call him a ghostwriter. Toby is someone that you can just tell. You can tell about your idea to write a book and leave Toby with it. He will script it and book it out. Do you understand? So imagine Toby's parents had taken away that privilege or that gifting from him. So you need to understand that most of them, their future food is on technology. And so understand their strengths. My daughter now takes our laptop. She can do a lot. This afternoon, she said she was coming up with a game or something. So imagine we saying that because we don't want you to get exposed to technology, we're not taking it away. In my mind, I won't mind being the mother of someone that invented a game. That's a personal pride. That's a personal something. So parents should also understand that the best they can do. If your child, I don't know if Mrs. Doi is still here. She has I think 9-year-old or 10-year-old son that is extremely gifted in coding. If you are still here, you are still listening. I know she joined at some point. This boy is gifted. Even when he's in the Smart Kids Club, even when we are talking, he's saying that he wants to come up, he wants to bring out code. He just keeps talking about this. We can channel his energy and make him one of the best in Africa. That is it. So parents should sit down, understand their children's strengths in technology and help them harness it, help them build it so that they become a better person. That is the way forward.
Wow. If I talk now, you will see your name, Professor. Okay, something like that. But that's fantastic. That's fantastic. When you saying those things, I was just thinking, the woman that accused me that I'm contributing to Mark's demonic cyber world thing. I saw her having Facebook Live. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I said,
Reality
ma'am,
on her.
I said, but you are one of those accusing of propagating demonic act of Mark now. But you are having Facebook Live. Says someone shut up. That's one of the things I want to remind us.
Yeah.
Let's be open to information. No one is an encyclopedia of knowledge.
Yeah.
If these young people are the ones with the ideas or with the knowledge of tech, let's be humble and submit to them so that we can learn from them. Instead of us to devalue or discourage what we're doing. No, we shouldn't do that. I've been a victim of that. If people don't understand something, they come after it. Why? Because they don't really understand what you're doing. Instead of them to ask questions, eventually they kill their God. What do I mean by they kill their God? They kill the person that God actually sent to them just because of ignorance.
Ignorance, yes.
So we don't need to fight technology. We've got to embrace it. Thank you everyone that joined us this wonderful evening. We have Dennis, Agbeti here. We have a lot of people. We have Olu Ajibini all the way from Chicago. Thank you, sir. Thank you for always joining us. Thank you. And he has been the one sharing, study technology, do your research, and engage. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So, your final word tonight, and if you have questions for Tim Carl, you can post it. They're going to attend to it and respond at your time. But your final word. But I would love you to say one or two things about your academy before you leave tonight, because it will be a disservice for us to talk about this huge stuff and not talk about the academy, where you model and change and birth visions. So tell us about those beautiful academies and what people can learn from there before we proceed and end today's event.
Mm. I
Okay.
mean, okay, go ahead, so.
Yeah. So thank you, Bratayo. Um, I just have a few things to say, and then I'll let the the
VC.
the superstar talk about it. But I think it's just what we've been talking about, and this is an outcome of what technology can do. The school
Yeah.
also is built on a platform of technology, which has been amazing, because with that, there's been the capacity to leverage much more than you would have done physically, and it's in itself like what we say. Most of the things we send children to school to learn, which is maths, English, and the basic courses, um, do not do justice to what they need to learn in life. And what this school does basically is like a life school, giving children life skills that they would need to respond to everyday life, their everyday living, even as they handle their hard skills in school that parents paid the amazing, fantastic fees for.
Yeah.
But in here, what is being done is that children are given the opportunity to master life skills,
Yeah.
master their emotions, master things that are not really taught in everyday conventional schooling systems. And they are doing that within a community that is encouraging, a community, and with teachers that are understanding and are able to understand them within, you know, um, in their elements, basically, and that's the most interesting thing, because it's teaching and the fun way in which this teaching is being done. Children are able to absorb, children are able to engage, ask questions, things they're not able to tell their parents, they're able to share with their teachers. And also in that process, they're also able to learn. And that's the unique aspect of the school. And that's why people keep coming back again and again, because these are not things that they learn in their conventional schooling system. So you know, for those who care to listen, it's something you need to be a part of. It's a movement. It's the next level, and this is how education will metamorphose in the near future. And it's just something that I think people should join, and they'll be glad they were part of it. So I'm going to hand over
Thank you, and I'll be fast because
to
of
the
our
VC,
time.
yeah, the
VC.
VC, the vice chancellor of
I mean, I mean, I have a personal testimony about this. So I realized that there are certain things I needed to teach my children about, and then it was more effective in the class, such that my son joins the class, and I noticed he was even asking questions, which means he's really he's enjoying the class. And I used the opportunity to drive home the things that I've been talking about at home, because I know that being in class with other children, it is going to be very effective. And then I end the class and I see questions popping up, and I see the feedback, or no, I see him practicing all of those things. The same thing. I mean, I was so proud when one of our parents in Dubai sent a video of her 4-year-old son, or 5-year-old, I think 5-year-old son, you know, telling us about his values. It brought tears down my, I mean, I was very emotional. And he said, send this video to Mrs. Carl. And she was explaining to me that before we joined this class, my son wasn't like this. A parent felt the child or her 13-year-old child had anger issues, sent them to the class, and we started softening up. And the parent was like, what did you guys do? Do you have magic? I said, no, we don't have magic. We have the Holy Spirit. And we are working in partnership with parents to raise awesome children. And so for me, like Carl said, this is a movement. This is a movement. We are so grateful to God that the Smart Kids Club, Smart Kids and Teens from ages 5 to 17, we are coaching children, we are grooming children, we are in a partnership with the parents. We are not even taking their responsibilities or their duties away from them. That's what we do. By God's grace, we've had parents that we've done online. This is the third edition. So we have had parents that have been with us since the first edition. I mean, that's how to know when something is working and a parent registers again. There are some parents that have taken it like when they're ready, when they're doing their school term. It is like that, especially because you do it for 3 months. And we hear parents. In fact, one of the children said to me, she's about 12. She said, Mrs. Carr, I will make sure my own children go to this class if you are still doing it and if you are not yet a grammar. That may be funny, but it sends a lot of message for a preteen to be saying that I want my own children to go through this kind of process, this kind of class. And then she said it humorously, if you are not yet a grandma, Mrs. Carr. That was a good feedback from a participant. So, I mean, what else can we say? We are grateful to God, and we look forward to having having more children as we keep making the change that we're supposed to see. I think that should pass for our lives.
Fantastic.
So that's that.
Thank
It's called the Smart
you.
Kids Club. Yeah.
Smart Kid Club. Thank you. Smart Kid Club, right?
Smart Teens and Kids Club. That is teenagers and kids. Smart Teens and Kids Club.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of this wonderful event today, technology and parenting. We're going to be exploring more. It seems we're going to stay on this for like 2 or 3
I think so. I think so. There are
Wednesdays because we're going to
yeah.
be taking different aspects of what entails, what concerns parents and what concerns children. And there's going to be a particular day you are going to tell us the beautiful testimony of how Tim Carl is leveraging on tech because I know you have students in Europe, you have students in Asia, you have students in America joining your session. Wow,
Yeah.
from here. And you're
Like
not even
seven
training
countries. 7 countries for now.
7 countries. Wow. And you are not even speaking in tongues. You are just in the same on their
Speaking
home.
English.
You
Yeah.
speak in English. Wow. Thank you so much. And to our wonderful viewers and to those on Facebook and to those on YouTube, we want to say thank you. You can contact Tim Carl on their handles at Florence Carl, at Chukwueke Carl, or you can contact me. I'll definitely get you connected with them. They're wonderful persons. The best thing I know of parenting in this part of the world, and not just part of the world, to the ends of the world. They do fantastic things with parenting, nurturing. You understand? They're going to teach you that things that are invisible definitely become visible by intentionality. Those are one of the beautiful things we learn from them in all ramifications. So thank you everyone. We've come to the end
Thank
of
you.
technology and parenting with Tim Carl this wonderful evening. I want to thank all those on Instagram, Pastor Olu and the likes of them. I want to thank everyone. And again, we're
Thank
going to see you
you.
next 2 weeks again as we continue technology and our parenting and tech with Tim
Parenting.
Carl. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
God
you.
bless
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.